Hello, hello. It's Erin here, Erin McGuire. Hi, everybody. I wanted to pop on and share about EFT. I got a question the other day about EFT. What is it? And so I thought it would be a great opportunity to come on and do a live, maybe do a little bit of tapping with you, explain what it's about and how it works, and then share with you something that's coming up soon. So, if you're new here, my name is Erin McGuire. I am an energy healer, a life coach, a yoga teacher of many, many, many years, and creator of different programs, the Lightworker Academy, my mentorship, my 10-month mentorship program to learn how to do all of these things that I do, including EFT. It's a part of it. Um, and I also lead retreats. And yeah, so that's a little bit about me. My biggest and newest love is all about the nervous system and really healing trauma through moving stuff out of our body, the issues and the tissues out of our body. And so that's where I'm really into and really involved in these days. And anyway, so wanted to hop on, wanted to share about this and give you a little more information and give you a tool you can use today to help you move through maybe some stress and anxiety that could be coming up for you because of the holidays, or just with life in general. So, yeah, so what is EFT? What does it mean? So, somebody was interested in what I'm going to tell you at the end, what's coming up, and she had a question about, like, what is EFT? What does that mean? And I thought, I just assume everybody knows everything, and I need to not do that because not everybody does. So EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's also sometimes known as tapping. So it's where you tap on different points in your body, on your body, I should say, that help to move stuck energy. So Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine that comes from India, they're very, very ancient medicinal systems, much older than Western medicine, talk about how we have 72,000 meridians, they're called in Chinese medicine, or in Ayurveda, they're called nadis, which I love. You have 72,000 nadis in your body. Just the funny things to say. But nadi is spelled Nidis. And that just means we have a lot of different, they're kind of like little lines of energy that run through different organs in your body, that run, just can run from top to bottom, can run just in a certain amount of space. And these places can get, they're places where energy can get stuck. And there's two main ways that our energy gets blocked, and that's through negative thinking and stuffing or storing our emotions. So not expressing how we feel. If something happens to us or somebody treats us a way that we don't want to be treated, and then we don't say anything, we kind of just shove it down like, well, I'm not, even though that upset me, I'm not going to start a fight, right? I don't want to start a conflict. And just kind of stuffing and numbing who we really are, which happens because of trauma. We have to kind of block who we are sometimes because of trauma, right? Trauma literally, especially if you had trauma from childhood, which I talk about a lot in here. I definitely did. I have CPTSD. It's, compound childhood trauma leads to CPTSD. And when that happens, we're not even really living from our true self because we have all these coping mechanisms and we have these habits that get formed from trauma to help us stay safe. And we have these identities like being an anxious person or a people pleasing person or a perfectionist person or a procrastinator or somebody with ADHD. And we label ourselves as all of these different things. Somebody that's always had chronic fatigue or chronic pain or an autoimmune disorder. And again, we label ourselves as such, but really it's because of trauma. Like, you're born without that. You're born without those labels. You're born without those issues, for lack of a better word. And it's really the trauma that we experience that could look like a parent being emotionally unavailable or a parent physically abusing a child or whatever the case may be. There's a wide spectrum of traumatic experiences one can have in one's life that lead to us being a certain way. And so that's where energy gets blocked, because it's like it's not your energy flowing freely through your body. It's who you think you need to be. It's, the biggest example is just like people pleasing, how we don't want to start a conflict, so we shove those feelings down even though somebody really upset us or we have a need that isn't being met. So these are all kinds of things I go into with my private clients in coaching, as well as in my different programs. So if you're somebody that is struggling in certain areas like that in your life, reach out to me. I'd be happy to discuss different ways that you can work with me that fit different budgets as well. But let's get back on track to EFT. So essentially, those two different ways that we block our energy through negative thinking and stuffing our emotions are what we are working on in EFT. We're working on moving energy out that has been stuck. So emotional energy that gets stuck, we're freeing that. Again, emotional freedom, right? So what we do, it works in a few different ways. So it works in 3 different ways. It's first exposing you to the negative thing. That's why sometimes, especially those of us like myself that have been in the spiritual world and the law of attraction world and the manifestation world for so long, it's hard to think about tapping negative stuff, right? We don't want to think about, that terrible thing that happened or whatever. Or sometimes the words that I'll use they'll sound quite negative, but it's because we are exposing ourselves to the negative stressor so that we can reprogram it with the tapping points. The second thing that happens when we do EFT is that you're activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the nervous system responsible for rest and digest, the nervous system that we're meant to be living in most of the time, and yet most of us are living in that dysregulated nervous system that I talk a lot about in here. You can go back and watch any of my other lives or go on my YouTube channel, Erin McGuire, at Pure Light Wellness, and you'll find videos on dysregulation and that sort of thing, if that's of interest to you. But most of us are living in that sympathetic state, being in a dysregulated nervous system more often than we're in that parasympathetic, which is where we want to be. So in the EFT, we're going to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And then the third thing is we begin to reframe. We reframe the situation and end up coming up with a positive. Not coming up with a positive, but coming to a positive, and then we tap that in. So you begin to shift things that have felt very challenging for you through this process. So that's a little bit about EFT and what it is. And again, if you have any comments or questions, leave them below. And if you're watching this later, just say #replay. I always like to know who stopped by, who watched. So since there's not a lot of people live at the moment, unless you are watching and you have a specific thing you want me to work on today with the EFT, we can do that. But I just want to go through a little tapping sequence, and I think doing it around stress and anxiety is great because, hey, it's the holiday time, and often that brings about anxiety and stress for a number of different reasons. And so this is just a tool to use to help you move that through. Okay, so you can personally be thinking about anything that stresses you. If you are live and you want to leave me a comment, I'm just looking to see if there's anybody there. If you want to leave me a comment, just go ahead and type that in and let me know a specific stressor, and I can work with that individually. So again, EFT, emotional freedom technique, we're going to tap at different points while saying a set of statements, and then stick around until the end so I can share with you a special that is coming up for you if you are interested in that, if you're interested in doing a little more of this in a more concentrated way. All right, so let's just take a moment and just sitting nice and tall in your chair. And actually, I just want you to sit back in your chair. Let your feet be flat on the floor. Of course, if you're driving, don't close your eyes, but otherwise, just sit back, close your eyes, and I want you to feel the support of the chair you're sitting in. So feel how the seat of the chair takes your weight. Feel how the back of the chair supports your spine. If you have arms on your chair, feel how the arm rests support the weight of your arms. And just really tune into and notice the support that the chair is giving you. Taking in some deep breaths here. Begin to feel the floor underneath your feet. If your feet are in socks or shoes, feel the material of whatever the feet are touching. If they're touching the floor, feel the carpet or the hardwood or whatever it is that you are touching, and really notice that. So notice how in this moment, I'm just helping you to ground into your body, to get really here, to get really present. And then wherever you are, continue to keep about 50% of your awareness in either your feet or your pelvis in the chair, feet on the floor. And begin to take about the other 50% of your attention and your awareness into your breath. So take a big inhale and let it be a big belly breath. So inhale, let the belly expand out. Exhale, let the belly button pull back to the spine ever so slightly. Feel and notice the shoulders pulling away from the ears. Let's do a few more like that. Just getting really grounded, really present, really here. You can also begin to notice any sensations that you feel. Maybe you notice a little gurgling in your stomach. Maybe you notice a flutter in your heart, or a little tension in your shoulders. Just begin to notice any body sensations that you might be feeling. Good, let's take one more breath together. Take a big inhale. And then open the mouth, exhale. Awesome. So we're gonna begin tapping at this karate point. It's at the side of the hand, the pinky side of the hand. And this is where we set our statement up. So before we do this, I always want to skip over this part. Don't skip over this part. Let's actually just take our right hand to our heart and tune in. I'm just always so excited to get to the EFT tapping that I forget. We always have to give ourselves a number, rate our stress and anxiety in this moment. So I just want you to rate the stress or anxiety that you feel in this moment. So whether you're stressed about, and try to pick one particular thing you're stressed about. It doesn't have to be the holidays. If you're like me, you're sick of the talk of the holidays. It's like, can we just move on with our lives? But pick one stressor, whether it's something from work, something from your family, something from anything that's stressing you out, and then just give it a rate from 0 to 10, 0 being this is not stressing me out at all, 10 being this is extremely stressing me out, it's making me feel very anxious. Go ahead and rate yourself now and leave that number in the comment section if you're watching live, just so we can see. Actually, if you can, leave the comment of what is stressing you out and then give it a number. And let's just put it out there so that we own it. Okay? For me, I will choose my book. If you know me, if you've been in my world for a while, you know I've been trying to write a book for years. And I have over 200 pages written, and I'm in this really annoying stage of having to organize it, and it's feeling like I'm hitting up against a lot of walls. And it's feeling stressful because I have a desire to complete it. So that would be mine, and I'd probably rate that like a 7 or an 8. Okay, so go ahead, write your stressor in the comment section. If you're watching later, do that later. Do it now. Still do it anyway. And give yourself a number from 0 to 10. 0, not stressful. 10, extra stressful. Okay, and then from there, let's just start tapping the karate chop point. And you can close down your eyes. Sometimes I close my eyes as I do this. Sometimes I open them, or a mixture of the two. And you can just say, even though I have this stress and anxiety around fill in the blank, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. And we say this 3 times. Even though I have this stress and anxiety around fill in the blank for you, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. 3rd time. Even though I have this stress and anxiety around fill in the blank, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then we'll tap at right at where your eyebrow meets. So right there, this stress and anxiety. So we call this the corner of the eye, the inside of the eye. This stress and anxiety, tap at your temples. It's been affecting me on a really deep level. Remember that we tap negatively. You don't have to repeat this part. Remember, we tap on the negative. So you don't have to repeat exactly what I say, but also, even if it doesn't completely resonate with what you are dealing with, it'll still be moving energy through. The key here is you never stop tapping. So just continue to tap the whole time. Don't stop. This stress and anxiety is affecting me more than I realize. Under the eye. It's making me doubt myself. It's making me feel like I'm not good enough. Under the nose. It's affecting how I feel about myself, and it's affecting my physical health. Chin. I realize that anxiety and stress is really just trying to tell me something. Collarbone. It's really just trying to tell me to pay attention, to slow down and listen within. Under the arms, about 3 inches under your armpit, and tap on both sides here. And yet the stress and anxiety about fill in the blank affects me on a daily basis. Top of the head. It makes me feel fill in the blank. How does it make you feel? Inside of the eye, and sometimes I wish it would just go away. Temple. I try to think positively. I try to say positive things. I try to make it go away, but it just doesn't. Under the eye. And it's really affecting me on a daily basis. Under the nose. it might just be protection. It might be my mind's way of protecting me. Chin. Sometimes I feel like I need to sabotage myself because of this anxiety and this stress. And so I procrastinate, or I don't start the things that I say that I want to do because I feel so much stress and anxiety. Collarbone. I wonder what I might be trying to protect myself from. And if something comes to you in that statement, you can go ahead and tap with that. Otherwise, just say, I wonder what I might be protecting myself from. Under the arm. Let's say that again. I wonder what I might be protecting myself from. Top of the head. But ultimately, the stress and anxiety just has a message for me to listen. To listen within, to stop being so busy inside of the eye. And I can give myself that time. I can take a moment and go within when I'm feeling this way. Side of the eye. I can do some tapping under the eye. It's safe to give myself this time and space to move this energy through me. Under the nose. I deserve the same amount of time and space I give other people. I deserve that too. I look forward to this program, this pattern, this stress, this anxiety shifting. Collarbone. I look forward to more freedom, the more time I give myself. Under the arm. And I look forward to seeing what else is possible for me. Good, and then take the hand to the heart and just rub the chest a few times. Again, feel the feet on the floor, feel your pelvis in the chair. Take a few deep breaths and just notice what you notice. Are you feeling more calm, more grounded, more present? And go ahead and rate yourself on that scale one more time from 0 to 10, thinking about that one stressor you thought about before we started. And think about that now. And how would you rate yourself? 0 being I'm not stressed at all about it. 10 being it's extremely stressful and anxious. Good. When you've got that number, leave it in the comment below. I'd love to hear the before and after. And I'd love to hear how this EFT tapping was for you. So let me know. And then just to let you know what's coming up. So my nervous system reset program, you may have seen, is out. It's available. And if you register for that by December 3rd, there's 2 different options. There's an option to do it just as a self-paced program. You get so many tools and techniques and videos with information about your nervous system, information about how to regulate your nervous system, how to soothe yourself. If you've had childhood trauma, if you suffer from anxiety, if you've got chronic issues going on, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, this is a wonderful program that you get to keep, and it provides you a lot of tools to use as needed. There's also soul work in there, like worksheets to go through, to go deeper into really understanding your patterns, what gets you triggered, and just how you are operating and some ways to help you shift all of that. So, I've had people say that I have had a small group that took the program as kind of like a beta group, and they've commented how it's helped them with different stressors, like really lowered the amount of stress they feel around certain things, like going to the doctor for one woman was quite stressful for her. Um, Lowered anxiety levels, like really helped this one woman understand what causes her anxiety and taking steps and measures to shift that. One woman said it was better than a year of talk therapy. And I did not, I can't make that up. I can't even, like, that blew my mind. So the program in and of itself is extremely valuable. It's extremely beneficial if you are somebody that struggles with anxiety, that struggles with chronic issues, that has childhood trauma, that just wants a roadmap out of stress and anxiety in general, because it will help you 100%. And so that's self-paced. You also have an option starting January 10th to do the program with 4 live coaching and healing calls with me. So that's where we come together each week to discuss. You can ask me questions. We can go deeper into coaching. It can be more personalized just for you when you're asking those questions. And with either of those options, if you purchase either one of those things by December 3rd, you get 2 bonuses. One of them is a live EFT healing self-sabotage with EFT workshop. It's a 2-hour live workshop on December 17th, but a recording will be available if you cannot make it live. You also get a clarity and manifestation workshop on January 1st that's also live and recorded if you can't make it, to help you create action plans and really get clear about what you are bringing into 2023, and also like what we're going to look back on 2022 and talk about our wins, talk about what worked well and what didn't work well, what you want to work on for 2023, and really establish a plan for yourself to either accomplish a big goal or just get really clear on what it is you're bringing into this new year. So with either of those 2 options, you get both workshops that are both 2 hours. So it's a 4 hours extra live coaching, healing work. And that's if you register by December 3rd for either the self-paced nervous system program or the self-paced plus 4 live group coaching calls. So I would love to hear from you if you have any questions. I'm really excited to end out 2022 in a big way. I think this nervous system program is really foundational in helping you overcome patterns and programs that have been keeping you stuck. For me, it's all the work I've done that has shifted my physical body, suffering from chronic fatigue and thyroid issues that were completely linked to childhood trauma, because our bodies are not meant to live in dysregulated nervous system states. That creates a lot of physical breakdown in your immune system, cortisol pumping through your veins, your blood all that time, all those many years. That's not meant to happen, and so eventually your body will break down. And this program gives you a way out of that, and it's all the tools I use that helped me greatly. So I'm really excited about it. I hope you will join me. And if you're like, Erin, I'm good, I don't need the nervous system program, but you want to join for either or both of those workshops, that is also an option too. So the EFT is on December 17th, and the manifestation and clarity workshop is on January 1st. Okay, so they're both available as individual workshops, but you get them for free if you join the nervous system program. I hope all of that makes sense. Leave me any questions below. I'll put links around so you can find them. If you're watching on Instagram, there is a link in my bio. If you're watching on Facebook, there'll be a link underneath this video. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all so much, and I wish you a happy week, a happy Thanksgiving week if you're celebrating that, and sending you all so much love.